Welcome back to Dang Square. Today we're going to be looking at the Matribox 2, and if you're a Matribox 2 user, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how using stomp mode to create scenes, in a sense. Alright, so this is the board. This is my gig board that I use. Brainchild of it, Matribox 2, with a few added pedals, less than jig. All my best friends are pedal heads. I was able to eventually add the NS2 with how I'm using this now, marked to my Powerwah Polytune 3 tuner. I now have this going into this, going into this. That way this is always available whenever I need it, no matter what. It's before this, so I don't have to worry about having this whole effects loop in the chain on to have this. This is on no matter what. So anyway, so the way I've been using the Matribox 2 is I used to play in just what was known as preset mode, and as I go here, these are my presets that I had. Just a regular clean to a drive 1, a drive 2 to a heavy metal kind of drive. And then I would have other banks for certain songs, like number 2 is for our song Vacation, for my band 2 for Flinching, with cover of Keys Be Nights. Then bank 3 would be my Sorry Not Sorry with our song Pan. And our newest song that we got, Constantly on Hold, and then a few other presets. But I've kind of made a way to where I made an entire rig into one preset and just use it on stomp mode. Now the way I'm doing this is that I have the entire chain is filled. All 12 blocks of the whole chain are filled. In fact, we'll go ahead and I'll zoom in real quick on that. So the way I got it here is, obviously you can see the entire chain's filled. I'm using 2 amps in the chain. I have, let's see, focusing here. I have 2 amps in the chain. First amp is what I'm using for my clean. Here, let's bring this up. This first amp is actually a Soldano 100 I'm using for clean. And then my clone here is a PV5150. Then the IR is just a vintage 30 with a 57 mic on it. So the way I have it is that even though it's in stomp mode, you can actually program it to where each switch can control more than one thing. And luckily enough, I'm having when I switch on A, it's controlling 2 things, and it goes from a blue channel to a red channel. When I have it on the blue channel, it is controlling or turning off, or it has on the effects loop, the Soldano amp, a reverb, and that's the blue channel. When I switch it to the red channel, it switches over to Tube Screamer Drive and the 5150 and turns everything else off. So in a sense, I'm getting 2 scenes out of this, and it's a lot smoother with changing everything, because it's not changing presets. Everything is already in the same preset. So for B, I just have it as controlling the flange. EC, I'm having as a tremolo, and then D is actually controlling 2 things. It's controlling delay and a chorus, I believe. That is a chorus, yes. So those 2 items are on the D switch. So blue is off, red is on for that. But for A, it's really cool because it tells me blue for clean, then red for dirty. You're gonna have it to where the effects loop is on blue, because then I can use this more on my sets, to where on clean I'll have the blue clean, and then I can switch to the yellow overdrive on here. So this is my secondary drive. Instead of having like 3 different drives, I'm down to 2 drives. One of them being off of this. So this gives me my clean with the ska clean, and then the punk overdrive from that. So I'm glad I'm able to use that more often now in this. And then I have my metal and clean channel here. So it's a lot more efficient this way, because I was able to take a lot of my songs that we use and a lot of the effects, and just, since it's a lot of the same thing, just create one patch and just, you know, switch between that and have everything here. And the delay trails over everything, so even when I switch the delay and everything off, the trails go over, and it actually sounds really cool and a lot better with, like, if I'm going into clean to overdrive and whatnot, or even just going from regular clean and going to like wet clean to a dry clean, the trails go over it, and it really does sound better that way. And since I'm not using the dual switch anymore, because I don't need it anymore, because all it does is help with controlling A, B, C, or D. Now I'm just using this as a tap tempo to make sure that the delay is on, which we usually keep it around 90-95 BPM for like vacation and Sorry Not Sorry, when we have like a reggae kind of slow crawl jam. But yeah, this simplifies everything. I'm not having to go to patch. It's either on, off, and then if I need an effect, I'm trying to write more songs using a tremolo. I'm using flange for everything, and if I want to use that with this, then I can do that. I do have a little bit of tap dancing if on like maybe one song, but it's not a lot. I've gotten it down, and the fact that I'm using my Less Than Jake pedal more instead of just for a occasional song and not just for boosting the clean, and I'm actually able to use that overdrive on it, it makes me happy, because I really like that pedal. But anyway, that's how I'm using the stomp mode and kind of creating scenes in this one patch. This is the one patch I'm using for all songs now. I still have the other patches just in case, but this is what I'm using now. As far as how I'm using my Matribox 2, it's not just a stomp. I mean, it is a stomp mode, but I'm controlling more than one item, especially on those two switches. So anyway, if you're a Matribox 2 user and you have any questions or have any comments, please feel free to share in the comments and let me know what you think. Yeah, I'm excited. This is definitely simplifying. I'm not done with this yet, because the one thing I'm trying to figure out how to do is getting to where I can get power on this entire board and have one power supply, because right now I have a power supply for this, because this takes up to about 1,000 milliamps, and the rest of these don't. But my major problem is this thing. It does not like to share power, especially with this. For some reason, this thing hates shared power. Right now I have that, and that all daisy chained, and they're on their separate power feed, and this is all by itself. And I'm working on getting a power supply that can power everything, as well as power this for 1,000 milliamps. It's still 9 volt, but I don't know, just the Less Than Jake pedal does not like sharing power. So that'll be my next solve for this pedal, this board. But anyway, like I said, if you have any comments or questions, please share in the comments. Thank y'all again for watching. Y'all have a good one.